Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an AT-7. It's a Tier 7 British tank destroyer. It's located on the south border of Prokhorovka, and it's under the command of BrassBallista of the Bull clan. Well, last time you saw BrassBallista, he had a rather interesting battle, and I seem to recall there was a Radley Walters involved. Well, he's probably going to see as many medals in this one as he did in the last one, or more. It's a tank destroyer. It is a British tank destroyer with massive armour, 203mm at the front. It's one of the designs that the British came up with on their way to actually generating the Tortoise. So very thick armour, but a very heavy gun as well. This one is the, well, it's showing 150, and I had to look up to see exactly which one that is. Okay, that's a 17-pounder main gun. It's the AT gun Mark 7, which is a Tier 7 gun. So he's actually loaded the 17-pounder. That means he's got 150 Alpha, 171mm pen with standard, and with the premium rounds, 239mm. And of course, it's got that 17-pounder muzzle brake right at the end. Okay, so basically, an assault gun like this is designed to bully the enemy to death. He doesn't have a lot of armour on the sides, only 101.6, same at the rear, but he does have fabulous armour at the front. Now he's got to watch out because there is Arty on the enemy team. They've got an AMX-13F3 and an SU-8, and if they wanted to, those guys could actually really harass him by landing shells on him all the time. And in fact, you can see a lot of action coming in from the enemy Arty, but it's actually for our guys to the left of us, the ones who are fighting with us. He's aiming up the hill, trying to get the guys up there. It looks like there's only a few enemy tanks in that direction, including a Shure 74, but he's doing something a bit wild here. He's crossing the railway line to get at them, and so he has been spotted, and that might shorten his life because the enemy Arty might pay attention to him now. But on the other hand, he now has a clean shot at that Shure 74, and he doesn't need to worry about the shells that are coming in for his teammates who are the other side of the railway line. Okay, so he is going to bulldoze his way through the enemy on this side, and he's positioned himself nicely. You see his teammates are firing up at that Shure 74. It's a Tier 7 game with Tier 6 tanks in it, and he's top tier. Hello. Okay, now the 17-pounder is a fast firing gun, very powerful, lots of pen. These tanks are going to go down if they're not careful. Oh, well, that one hit the tracks. He's going to try and immobilize the guy. He's going for the engine bay, actually. Nice shooting. He knows where to hit this thing to actually do the most damage. And you can see the IS is now pulling back because he knows it's in trouble. Now, he could just shoot through that building with the HE. In fact, that's what he's doing. He's getting rid of the building so he can shoot at the enemy. And in fact, he's taken out the IS. Or did he? No, he didn't get the kill. The VK up on the hill got the kill from him. So anyway, he's collected a huge number of hit points already. He's up to 912, and now he's headed towards the enemy cap area. You can see there's not much enemy shells coming towards him on this side, but oh, he has been spotted at last. That will change now because, of course, the enemy knows he's here, and they're worried. He just takes out the enemy VK-3001P with one shot. And I think you're going to find enemy Arty probably paying attention to him very shortly when they suddenly realise he's actually in the rear. Yep, they know he's here. They're not attacking him at the moment, which is bad news for the enemy. Because, of course, he's still got all of his health. Hasn't lost a single hit point yet. And they don't want a tank destroyer with very thick armour right in the enemy rear, shooting them in the ass. Now, the enemy may have taken control of the west side of the map, But remember, he's going to take control of their cap area once he gets to the other side of the railway line and sits there blasting away at the enemy with not much they can do back in return except hit him with as many artillery shells as they can. Oh, and the enemy's come over, and yes, the E25 tries to go for him straight away, but the E25's got a bigger problem. Our teammates. And you can see that our teammates are there. And these 17-pounder rounds are very efficient. Now you can get a 20-pounder gun, which is actually the tier 8 game for this Arty. But he's decided the 17-pounder is much more effective because, of course, it is a faster firer. The reload rate for the 20-pounder is 5.54 seconds, or 5.94 rather I should say, whereas the 17-pounder will reload in 3.64 seconds. And that makes a massive change in the DPM, so it's actually worthwhile going for the tier 7 gun rather than the tier 8 one. Well, we just lost one of our teammates, the Caro. Caro took out our BZ-58, and the enemy is capping at the other end. You notice they're bouncing their rounds off our armour. Okay, that AMX is now in trouble. Hello! And he takes a hit from a ram, and now we're just going to bully him until he's gone. Okay, he's gone, and now the enemy have turned round. In fact, they're not capping at the other end. Even though there's only 4 of us left on our team, the enemy team is now worried enough that they have to turn around and address their own cap area instead. That's an RT shell coming from the SU-8. There's the Boozer. They say pumps around into that guy. Just keep going. Bouncing rounds. Oh, we aim for the... He actually hit the mantlet there. Don't go for the mantlet. Go slightly to one side, and that'll get through the armor on the Boozer. Okay, slightly to one side. No, that was the bad shot because he wasn't aiming for the weak spot. That's better. That's how you do it. And there's a kill. So that's his 3rd kill of the game. And he's still got about a half his hit points at the very least. And the Super Hellcat's still bouncing rounds off him from the centre line. Yeah, he's so far away he can't do much. Okay, now I'm not sure why he's going up here, because he's actually making himself an easy target. He had to burn his repair kit just to get his tracks fixed. But look at this, now he's actually sitting up here, and there's an AFK tank in the centre. It's a VK3601H. And he's just going to slam... Oh, that was a bad one because he just took a 105mm round from a Sture Mill. At least I think it was a 105. It may have been actually a 128. No, I think it was the 105. The one bad weak spot, of course, is this cupola, and you can see that somebody did actually aim around for the cupola and got it through. That cupola, though, does have a few other cupolas or machine gun ports which actually block the shots, and he's taken out the Super Hellcat with just 2 shots. So now he has 4 kills, and there's 4 enemies out there. He could get a Radley Waters out of this. Of course, he would have to kill all of the remaining enemies, and he's only got 1 teammate left, and that happens to be the Super Hellcat to his left. Now he's making a nice little killing zone, a little nesting area. That's something I sometimes do as well. Makes it more difficult for the enemy to spot you. Of course, this row of trees is also very good if enemy tanks come over the hill, because it's very difficult to see a tank that's hidden amongst those trees once they're fallen. Of course, the only thing I would say is that this tank, the 87, whose predecessor was the 88, yes, I know that's a later number, but it's actually the predecessor, is very big, very easy to see. It also has the main armament on one side of the vehicle, which means it can only really effectively shoot around the left-hand corners, not right-hand corners. If you were to shoot around a right-hand corner, you'd have to expose the entire body of the tank before you could actually get the gun to bear on the enemy. Well, he's come all the way back here, I think, so he can go over to the other side of the battlefield. And he's found the enemy AT-7 going up the hill. I think that's probably the worst decision of all, unless that guy's got the wrong gun. Especially if the guy's got the wrong gun, I should say. Well, that one actually looped over the building. So long as that Super Hellcat keeps the AT-7 lit, we can hit him from out here. Oh, he got him. So 90mm gun on the Super Hellcat finally took out a vehicle like us. Well, we're down to just 81 hit points now, so we could be taken out by an HE round from the Sture Mill, for that matter. The Sture Mill suddenly realises he made a bit of a mistake going up to that railway crossing, because we've managed to get around him. Now he's accurately aiming at us, and he's bounced off our armour. And I think the Arty was firing. I heard a rumble, but I think he missed us. Now we're blind firing to see if we can hit that Sture Mill. I'd be careful with those shells. You might need them. No, it's not there. You're going to have to reacquire. Okay, he's kind of reduced his armor, his ammunition now. And you can see the enemy can't see him because the artillery was actually firing where he was, not where we are. So he's definitely going to go up this side of the battlefield. Now, looking at the enemy, they've got that VK, which is an AFK, the Sture Mill over by the railway crossing, and the SU-8, well, that's the one we don't know. But he must be over this side of the battlefield because that's where the shells were coming from. Okay, he's got sight of the VK, but if we fire from here, the VK might actually spot us. And so he's pulled back just a little. Oh, he's got the Bush Mechanic. Bush Mechanic's working in his favour, so he can now take that guy out and kill him. And he's got the kill. So that's his 5th kill of the game. Next one is a Top Gun. Now, it's also a good idea to be on this side of the battlefield, because if that SU-8 decides to do a runner and try and get down to the south, we probably never catch him, because of course he's got much more speed than we have. Top speed of this one is only 20 kilometers an hour. Very, very slow. And we're into the last 2 minutes. I was surprised that the enemy stopped capping. They really should have just capped out when they knew that they were having problems at the other end. But the SU-8's been spotted, and he knows he's been spotted. And now he is in trouble. Oh, we've just lost the Super Hellcat. But now the SU-8 fired, and he fired into the ground. Now we need to keep him within sight. We don't want him to do a runner. We must kill him. Okay, there he is. Go for it. Oh, Sture Mill, one shot. Gets him. Now kill the SU-8, and we've won the game. 3 rounds. And here he is. Oh, it's going to take a bit more than 3. But there's the kill. And that wins the game for BrassBallista. Here's the end of battle stats. And that was the first ace tanker for BrassBallista of Ball in the AT-7. Congratulations on breaking your duck. He also got a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points for his own vehicle. He got a sharpshooter for getting 10 or more consecutive shots on the enemy. He also got a shell proof for blocking more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle and surviving, as well as a Master Gunner for getting 5 armor-penetrating shots in a row, as well as a Duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him, a Bruiser Medal for getting at least 5 critical hits, and he managed to get 8 in this one, as well as Hand of God for surviving the battle, having received damage from at least 4 different enemy tanks or more. In fact, it's all more in this case. He also got a Pascucci's Medal for taking out both enemy SPGs, the AMX-13F3 and then the SU-8. He got a Spartan Medal for blocking a non-penetrating shot from the Sture Mill when he had less than 10% of his hit points left. And in fact, actually, the shot that he fired at the Sture Mill killed that guy, but he blocked the shot that came back because the Sture Mill couldn't get it on the weak spot. He got the High Caliber for dealing the most damage in the game. He got a Top Gun for getting at least 6 kills. In fact, he managed to get 7 in the end. And he also got the Steel Wall as well for doing the most damage in the game, or rather blocking the most damage in the game. At least 11 hits and over 1,000 hit points of damage and surviving the battle. His win rate on that game was 17,560. So that's Super Unicum and a lot more. Let's have a look at team score. Well, we can see the highest damage was 4,929. Second highest was the Super Hellcat on the enemy team, who managed 3,945 hit points of damage, and he got a Top Gun. And the third highest damage, well, that actually goes to Sture Mill, who only managed 1,820. So you can see how much BrassBallista did better than everyone else in this game. He really did excel. When it came to kills, he got that one too. 7 kills to him, 6 kills to the Super Hellcat, and 4 kills to the 87 on the enemy team, who obviously didn't realize that you really shouldn't try and climb a hill in an 87 when you're exposed, and if the enemy tank actually has something that can penetrate through the side of your armor. And of course, the side of the armor on this thing, as I said, during the battle, is 101.6 millimeters. And of course, the 17-pounder round can go straight through that. So it was a very bad move for him to actually go up that hill whilst he was spotted. When it came to base XP, he got that one too. In fact, he's the only player to get over 1,000 base. He got 1,765. The second highest was, in fact, the Super Hellcat on the enemy team, who managed 809. And the third highest damage, well, that went to the VK3002M on his own team, who got a Leather Slaves Medal for killing 2 enemy tanks or tank destroyers with a medium tank during a battle, at least 1 tier higher than his own. And he got 722. So that means, by the way, I clicked over too quickly, he got the top in all 3 columns in this game. 58 rounds fired. Some of them, though, he spammed out because he was trying to blind hit the Sture Mill, and he shouldn't have done that because it could have actually weakened him later on during the game. Yes, you fire a couple of blind shots, but when you don't get any results, stop firing, because otherwise you need those rounds for later on if you're having difficulty trying to shoot the enemy at long range. He got 39 direct hits and 35 penetrations. 4,929 hit points, of which 1,351 broke more than 300 meters. He received 19 hits from the enemy, only 2 of which actually penetrated, and 13 non-penetrations, 4 hits by way of splash damage. You saw one of the rounds actually did go through the cupola. That shot was fired accurately. The E25 did try to make a difference. He did manage to get 1 round in, but nobody else managed to do enough damage. It was somebody high caliber, I seem to recall, fired at him from the side and managed to get a shot into him for quite a few hit points. But it was, I think actually it was later on during the battle that he actually did get hit in the side. 3,180 hit points of damage blocked by armor, 4 enemy vehicles spotted, 10 enemy vehicles damaged, 7 killed, and he earned 39,145 credits profit from that game, and that includes a mission completion reward of 688 credits. Oh yes, it was the Burza who managed to get around into him that actually did pen 25 bonds for mission achievement, and he also took away 9,266 experience points out of that one as well, including another mission completion of 1,324. And this was before Holiday Ops started, so it was particularly good that he managed to get this those sort of figures. As he said, it was an 87 stomp, 4.9k damage and 7 kills. So I hope you enjoyed that replay. It's certainly, I did say that there was going to be another all-out battle featuring BrassBallista. Having difficulty with his name, BrassBallista of Bull. And this one really was a medal winner in a big way. But I think the only thing he needs to watch out for, don't spam your shells firing blind to try and get the enemy, because you really need to conserve your ammunition to make sure that you've got enough to do the job. You only get 50 rounds in the 88. So if you're spamming your medals away or spamming your shells away, there's a good chance you might run out. Actually, it's 70 rounds with a 17 pounder. I was thinking about the 20 pounder, but it's still all the same. It's wise to conserve your shells just to make sure you've got enough to keep going. Hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.